This is a production of Cornell University.
My name's Jack Elliott. I'm a professor of design here at Cornell in the Department of Design and Environmental Analysis, which is just right behind here. And part of what I do for my research is get involved with what's called creative scholarship. I personally am working in wood, doing large sculptural pieces that try to raise awareness about different environmental issues. And this semester, I was lucky enough to become Atkinson Fellow in Residence, and that's where I met Ravi. And we started sharing ideas. And I think the Atkinson Center is also recognizing that these difficult problems that we're facing have to be solved by people outside the normal realm of inquiry. Most of the work that I've done has typically dealt with biophysical environmental problems, such as invasive species, emerald borer beetle, thousand canker disease, forest demographic change because of climate change and human interventions. But I hadn't really done a piece that had something to do with the social dimension related to environment. So I brought Ravi and some fellows over to my studio, and we're just brainstorming, showing them what I was doing and what the stories are behind each piece. And then I had this out in my yard. This is a red oak that was taken down last summer, and it's facing where it used to live. It was on the other side of the quad, and it had to come down for construction. And I was asked if I wanted the tree, and I'm always interested in getting big trees, but when I saw this tree, I really didn't know what I could do with it. And so I had to make a quick decision about where to make some cuts, and they delivered it to my studio, and I was able to get it so that it would stand. And when Ravi saw it, he said, "That's it, that's the piece." And I thought, wow, yeah. I thought it was actually quite insightful, because the piece is about, it's called Animus, which is Latin for spirit or courage. And this idea of spirit and courage seemed to me appropriate for issues about climate justice, because you need both in order to overcome and re-strike a balance. And also, it's clearly an animate form, but it's not clearly anthropomorphic, or it's not clearly biomorphic. It's not maybe an animal or a plant or a human, but you can still recognize it as something living. And I like that aspect of it, because that reminds us that climate justice isn't just about people. We share this planet with other living things, some of which might deserve rights, if not respect. And there's a sense of justice that we could extend perhaps to them as well. So this is a kind of large, sort of abstracted figure, obviously struggling to stand. There is a sense of uneasy balance. You see this heavy mass floating just above the ground. That ties into the idea of the scales and justice. You know, the blindfolded woman holding up the scales with the sword. And then the actual technique that I use, I scorch my wood. I scorch the natural surfaces to heighten the contrast between the natural and the human. So the planar cuts that I make, I leave clear, and then it heightens the visual contrast. It also serves a practical function of killing any bugs or destroying any spores. And this particular tree was badly infected and with both. And so one of the first things I did when I got the tree is, it was a kind of conservation effort to remove the bad stuff, whatever was rotten or whatever was impregnated with larvae. So as you walk around, you'll see some major gashes and these cuts, and it's about trying to restore the piece to some sort of better health, because if left unchecked, it will continue to grow and destroy the piece. But it also kind of reminds me, they're almost like scars. And it reminds me that any effort, especially one involving a struggle to rise up, there are consequences. Now, this piece is not meant to be pretty. It's meant to be evocative, expressive of a kind of movement, a kind of strength and power. So in my view, it's still performing an aesthetic function, which is to express an idea, but it doesn't necessarily have to be pretty in order to do that. It's kind of awkward. It's almost a monster, but you have to admire it, even if you don't understand what it is. I mean, just the power and the force. This thing weighs 8,000 pounds, 4 tons. Every tree you see that's, a mature tree has got incredible strength and power in order just to stand, resist the weathers. So I'm putting up a little plaque here. It'll explain some of the basic concepts behind it, but I really want people to come to their own conclusions and see what they see in it. Part of my job, I find, is to reveal what needs to be revealed, to find the inner piece in it. And sometimes that takes time. And with sculpture like this, it's all subtractive. So once it comes off, you can't put it back. So these have to be very careful, deliberate decisions. And I kind of follow the Confucian mantra, which is at least 70% of the piece is natural, is left, and 30% is my own intervention. So I'm trying to let the tree do most of the work. But I do these strategic cuts to expose certain salient properties.
This has been a production of Cornell University, on the web at cornell.edu.